BC musician. The guy is going places. Always good to have Mr. JoJo Mason with us. How's it going?
My man, it's good to see you.
I haven't seen you in probably, a couple months, and you're going places, my friend.
Oh, dude, it's a ride that I never thought I would be on, and I'm enjoying every moment of it. It's crazy.
You just came in from Red Deer.
That's right.
You did your first meet and greet. How did that go?
Man, like I was telling you, I've heard horror stories of people, okay, man, I'm going to this meet and greet, and everybody's coming to see me, and then they show up, and like 4 people show up. So that's what I'm expecting, right? So I show up, I'm expecting. Man, there wasn't an empty seat in the place. I was floored. And so the first thing I said to everybody was, you guys have no idea what this means to me. Like, it means more to me that you guys showed up to even want to have anything to do with me, let alone sit here and watch me sing for whatever. But like, it means more to me than it does to you. I can guarantee that. Yeah. It was crazy, man.
Your producer, Dan Swimner from Manic Down Productions. Join in, man. We kind of rushed him in here. We were just talking off air that, JoJo, he's not used to this yet. He's not used to all this publicity and stuff.
No, and to sit next to a guy and watch him go through the whirlwind that has been the last year, because it's almost, June 21st was the 1-year anniversary of releasing the first single, and to have a front row seat, man, I feel a lot of the time like I'm just along for the ride, because this is a guy who, what you see is what you get. As much as he'll tell you every time he sheds a tear emotionally, he'll say, I'm not a guy who cries, but I've heard him say that probably 50 times over the past.
But he really does.
But it's honestly,
it's so
never
real.
Been.
Yeah. It's so and to watch a guy who he doesn't know what's going on, it still hasn't really hit him, but to see the level that he appreciates what's happening, it makes it just so worthwhile. Every time someone supports him in any possible way, JoJo wants to hunt them down and give them the biggest bear hug in history.
Every time he walks in here, man, he's like, get over here. So, and that's what we love about you, man, is that you're a people person.
He's not a musician.
I'm not a musician. Like I wish I could call myself, and I almost wish I had found music, years and years and years before. But everything that I've been through, everything that I've done in my life, man, it's made me who I am, and my mama's got a big part to play in that. Mama Joan, and
she must be pretty proud of you, by the way.
Oh man, she is just head over heels ecstatic, and just from the person that I used to be, and the person that she saw struggling, and how I've managed to turn it around. I can, honest to God, say I can look in the mirror and say to myself, like, I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? And it's been a long time since I've been able to do that. And, my mama feels the same way.
Your first single that you released, well, of course, It's All Good. That went places for you, man. What's life been like for you since that?
You know what? I don't really know, man. Like, it's been a whirlwind of emotions, right? I mean, to not have anything to do with music, like Dan said, like I'm so green, I'm so new to this whole thing that like everything that happens, it's the coolest. Like people recognize me now, and that's like. Me? You know what I mean? Like, what? I'm always the person looking for, like, oh man, there's Dallas Smith. Oh, there's Chad Bradley. Oh my goodness. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that guy. But for people did that to me this morning at the meet and greet. They're like, oh my goodness, it's JoJo. And I'm like,
yeah.
Huh?
JoJo Mason joining us this afternoon. Dan, what's it like working with, you got JoJo here, you got Lady McCauley. I mean, you work with some pretty good people.
Yeah, I was out of music. I had been kicked around enough. I had it. It can be a tough go, and I had been doing it for a long time and had pockets of success, and then had it taken away. And I felt like I had tortured myself sufficiently, but then I kind of got pulled back into it, kicking and screaming, and I had an opportunity, and I thought long and hard about taking it, and then I've decided, okay, I will take it, but I'm going to set some new rules for myself, and I came up with I don't know if it's a slogan or a motto, or it turns out it's almost like my mission statement in some ways, and it's from now on, I will love what I do, and I will love who I do it with, and the moment that stops, I'm not going to do it anymore. I love music, but I don't love it enough to just donate my entire life and to it. In a way, like just being down and going through all that. So the first rule for me was in choosing the people that I work with, they have to have talent, but more importantly, they have to be good human beings.
Right
and
on.
the first artist that I ended up working with in my renaissance, so to speak, was Madeline Merlot. And
Awesome lady, by the way.
she's
the sweetest.
Yeah.
an absolute gem. Like, she's the sweetest, and her mom is the sweetest. And I met her as a 17-year-old, so I really got to help her. It was kind of an empty canvas, and try to instill in her the way that I wish people were like to me.
Right.
And teach her, once you have success, you need to pass that along. And it's so easy with someone like her because she's such a good person. She doesn't have to pretend. And then the next artist that I work with is JOJO, and holy cow, like, I don't know how I get so lucky. And I keep stumbling, the Christmas party, the whole story of how we met, and it's all true. Like, he wasn't in music, and there was the irony of the moonshine and all that. And you're just not going to find a nicer person and someone who appreciates it as much as he does. And I actually have had to talk to him about the thanking on stage. Dude, you got to dial it back. Like, I know you appreciate it. I'm so glad. But that's what makes him him. Right. And ironically, the more he tries to pass off the credit, the more people are drawn to him and fall in love with him because they see how real he is and how much he appreciates what he has. And now with Lainey McLean, it's my daughter, she's 9 years old, and she's been getting into acting, and she had an audition today. And Lainey lives in Vancouver. I live just outside. It's like a 45-minute drive, and I'm not home. And Elena, my wife, is working.
It's a 45-minute drive one way.
Each way, yeah. And I had no way to get her to this audition, and I sheepishly texted Lainey, is there any way that you can help me out? And she's like, oh my God, yes. And she just completely rearranged her whole life to take my daughter to this thing and drive out, get her, drive back. And she's just such a wonderful human being. And I love what I do now. And I never really loved music, but I never loved being a musician. And now I do for the first time in my career, thanks to these artists that I get to work with.
Dan Swimner, JoJo Mason with us this afternoon. JoJo, before we get to your new song, what's some of your plans on the go this summer? What are you doing?
Man, I am... Oh, first of all, I got to say, Jeremy, you'd be so proud of me, man. I quit my job.
Did you? Finally. I've been bugging you since...
I know you have,
the first visit.
Yeah, man.
You were a bartender.
That's right. So I quit. It was the best decision.
You're focusing now full-time on music now?
Full-time on music.
Excellent.
Full-time on music. And now I can actually, a little bit weight off my shoulders. I don't have to stress about doing both, right? Having to survive. I'm okay now. I set myself up so financially too. I can be okay for the summer.
Awesome.
But this summer, man, I'm everywhere. I'm on my way right now to Dauphin to play Country Fest.
Oh, nice.
Cannot wait. I got to see Madeline play there last year. Amazing. And then I go back to Vancouver. I got a show in Vancouver downtown at the Roxy. And then I'm back to Cavendish, and then I'm at the Stampede.
Nice.
Oh, man.
So when are you performing in Edmonton, man?
Brother,
we need a show here soon.
If it was up to me, it would be now.
All right, let's get right to the new single.
Live, Jeremy?
I'm an Edmonton boy, so let's get you in Edmonton soon.
Man, I'm done. Absolutely.
The new single, love the song, by the way. It's called Red Dress. Tell us all about it.
It was a song originally written by a wonderful artist and songwriter. She's the sweetest. Her name's Danica Bucci.
Yeah.
And she's out of Niagara Falls, and I guess she had kind of the same struggle. And Dan, again, stumbled across Danica and signed her to a publishing deal. And so she pitched that song, and immediately, oh my goodness, I said, please, can I, like, I almost had to get on my knees and say, please, can I have it, man? It's amazing. And so after a lot of work, her and Dan put in rearranging and doing a whole bunch of stuff to it, I was able to had the privilege of being able to record this one, and it's just a fun summer song. It has me written all over it, man.
That's good too. All right, JoJo, appreciate you stopping by. Dan, you as well?
Anytime,
Thanks so
big
much,
boy.
Jeremy.
Anytime, man.
This is
For real.
Red Dress, JoJo Mason, CFWE.